Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm your host, FD for Switch5.tv. And in this video, guys, I want to give you a clear-eyed portfolio level analysis of what we are holding in the crash portfolio, whether it's sustainable and how it will behave across a base, bull, and euphoria market condition without blowing it up or turning it into something it isn't. So I'm going to try and be as objective as I can. And before we proceed, guys, please know that what I'm going to share with you are just my own opinions with regards to this crash portfolio. It's not financial advice, and if you hold some of the projects we'll be talking about, you do your own research and make your own decisions. And what we are sharing with you in this video might help you in achieving those objectives, but the responsibility stays with you. Do your own research. If you require financial advice, you need to approach someone who is actually trained to give you financial advice. This information is also not intended for UK audiences. The UK authorities do deem anything crypto related to be extremely risky, and they're trying to protect you just in case you end up losing your funds. That said, guys, let's come back to this point. We are going to be proceeding in 5 areas or 5 sections, and they're going to be brief. It's not going to be a long video. We're going to be looking at whether this portfolio is sustainable as a system. We're going to give you guys a brief, accurate description of each asset. It will be very brief. We'll do some scenario analysis, the base case, bullish case, and the euphoria case. We'll look at the strengths and weaknesses of the portfolio and how to improve it without moving too far from today as things stand. So is this portfolio sustainable? The short answer to that is yes, I think so, but it is fragile and timing sensitive. That's why we are actively managing it. We are aware it is time sensitive. This is a high beta thesis driven early crypto portfolio, not a capital preservation one. It is sustainable only if we can have a crypto bull market continuation. That's one thing. And we have at least 2 or 3 of the higher risk bets to work, not just one. So you're looking at 2 to 3 of the 7 that are currently in it. We may be changing it again, but that's part of the active management of our portfolio. Yes, I must admit this portfolio is not diversified by asset class, including the likes of BTC or HIT, but it is diversified by the narrative. We're talking of high performance layer 1s and layer 2s, Monad, gaming, we've got BIM, Oracle Infra, we've got Pyth and privacy and compliance, we've got Midnight, AI and automation, BIM is in there, and DeFi synthetics. So that's what this portfolio is all about. That makes this portfolio option like small cost today. That's the logic. Large convex payoff if conditions align. So it's not by accident. Let's move on to a brief description or a quick description of the assets we hold. You got Mon, which forms 39% of our portfolio, and Monad is a high performance EVM layer 1 using parallel execution. Its existence is based on the fact that it wants to prove EVM doesn't have to be slow. And the reality is that it is still in prove it mode, tech credible, adoption pending, so there's no adoption yet. And the part of Monad and the Mon token in this portfolio, it is a core asymmetric bet. Moving on to Midnight, 25% of our allocation within the crash portfolio. Midnight is the privacy focused blockchain designed for compliance, programmable privacy from the Cardano ecosystem. It matters because privacy with regulators in mind and not in opposition is always a good thing, because you can give regulators what they want and also those who want total privacy what they are looking for. So it's like a scale. And as of today, the reality is that it is a strong narrative. We've seen Night itself and others like your Bitcoin Cash, your Monero and Dash, doing quite well. So, and Zcash as well. So there is place for privacy narrative. And the reality today is that, like I said, it is a strong narrative, early execution, price suffering post-launch. I think it did well compared to what I was thinking. And the role for Midnight is to hedge the regime as well as optionality on privacy re-rating. Next, you got BIM, which forms 13% of our portfolio. BIM is a gaming ecosystem formerly married Circle. It aims to fund and coordinate Web3 gaming infrastructure. It has survived multiple cycles as Merit Circle, and it restructured successfully from Merit Circle to BIM. It is a low beta gaming exposure. That's what I. Next, you got Pyth network and the Pyth token, 12% allocation within the crash portfolio. Pyth is first-party Oracle network, market data from exchanges and so forth. It offers more accurate, low latency price feed. It is a strong product, but the tokenomics are brutal, and it provides infrastructure ballast, relatively speaking, of course. Next, you go to the Ronin network and the Ron token, 7% of our allocation. The Ronin network is gaming first EVM layer 1 by Sky Mavis, the creators of Axie Infinity. It has a proven ability to scale a single game to millions. We saw that with Axie Infinity, among others. It is still the most battle-tested gaming chain, Ronin network. I mean, there are others who claim to be gaming chains, but the Ronin network is one of the few that are battle-tested. Axie Infinity, again, case in point. And it offers operationally proven gaming exposure. Again, Axie max infinity. It's there. Next, you got Indigo protocol and the IND token, 2% of our allocation. What is it? It's a Cardano-based synthetic asset protocol, and it offers on-chain access to traditional assets. It has solid design, thin liquidity, and it might also be suffering from the Cardano ecosystem drag. If it was on another chain, would it be performing so poorly as it is? Because there is no liquidity. And it offers, as far as our portfolio is concerned, it is offering long-tail DeFi optionality. That's it, just a hedge. And finally, we got Trade Tide, TTD, less than 1% of our allocation within this portfolio. We cut a big chunk of our position from Trade Tide at almost double our entry position. So it was positive, but that small portion that's left, it's collapsed. These things are expected. Trade Tide is AI-assisted trading automation platform. It aims to turn AI analysis into execution. It is very early and extremely risky. And its role here is just as a lottery ticket exposure, nothing else. It's just, okay, if it does well, it does well, but most likely it won't. What are the chances of anyone winning a lottery? You buy a ticket. Very small indeed. Moving on to the scenario analysis of our portfolio, where we are looking at the base case, the bullish case, and the euphoria phase or case. Looking at the base case, where we are looking at a slow grind, selective out season, which is what's been going on. Winners will be like Pyth for infrastructure protocols survive, if BEAM, if gaming stabilizes, and running network for operational relevance. And you've got another section or group of mixed performance, talking of morn, which is rent bound until usage, and night, which awaits for catalyst. So those two have got a mixed success rate during a base case. And the likely laggards or the worst performers will be TTD and INDY. Yeah, we highlighted that at the top of the video. And the portfolio outcome within the base case is sideways to modest gains, survivable but psychologically hard. That's why we are actively managing it, because it's going to be hard not to do anything for this portfolio to stay relevant. Next, you got the bullish case, where we are looking at rotation into quality altcoins. And here winners include, again, Monad and the Mon token, if the execution narrative catches, Night, if privacy re-rates, and Ron, gaming revival. So those will be the winners in a bullish case. But strong contributors could come from the likes of Pyth and BEAM. Optional upsides will be from INDY and TTD. And the outcome for this portfolio in a bullish case will be strong performance versus BTC, driven by 2 to 3 names. So the likes of Monad, Midnight, and Running Network. Let's move on to the crazy phase, which everyone was hoping for that during 2025 into 2026. We haven't seen that yet. This is the full altcoin mania, and explosive positions will be in Monad, Midnight, and TTD. Small weight, but potentially big percentages. That's crazy, right? But TTD could go to 0, and the other two might not go low as that. And there will be some strong positions in Ronin and BEAM, and solid but lagging will be Pyth, because I think it can only do so much. I don't think it will explode that much in a euphoria phase because of the tokenomics, and people won't be holding that much of it anyway. And the portfolio outcome here will be where the portfolio ends its keep, convex upside. The pros and cons of this portfolio include strong convexity, limited capital, but large upside. Early exposure to future narratives, not over-concentrated. There are no meme coins in here. Clear thematic coherence, but there are also cons or disadvantages or downsides. No anchor asset in BTC or ETH. High dependence on execution, not just narrative. Vulnerable to long-term consolidation periods. Several post-launch, post-unlock tokens. So in plain terms, this portfolio flies beautifully in a tailwind, but feels uncomfortable in still air. Won't do well. I mean, if you are looking to improve this, you could add maybe 10 to 15% in ETH or BTC. You know, at the moment we were sitting at approximately 10% in stablecoins, or just over that in stablecoins. Trim weakest tail risks slightly. You know, you're talking of the likes of TTD and INDY. If we trim a combined 2 to 3%, keep optionality, reduce bleed, and slightly rebalance towards proven execution, small increases to Pyth or Ronin. These funds risk your best by surviving downturns. We should have an explicit sell rule as well, which we've been exercising for morn and night. Sell maybe a fixed percentage, say on a 2x to 3x. This converts paper gains into optionality capital. So my final thoughts on this is that this portfolio is not reckless. It is aspirational. It's built like a venture fund. Many will wobble, but some will fail. But you don't need all of them to win. You need 1 or 2 to matter. And we know which ones we think matter. Right now, this portfolio is holding a collection of almost fast enough, almost adopted, almost ready. If the market rewards delivery, this one is well positioned. If the market demands immediate proof, patience will be tested. With a small anchor, tighter tail risk control, and a clear profit-taking plan, this portfolio doesn't need a reinvention. It just needs time, discipline, and one good execution story. What I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about our objective analysis of the crash portfolio that we hold and we share with you guys from time to time? I think this was a fair assessment of what this portfolio is and where we think we might do some tweaks to make sure it's anchored. What do you think? Let us know in the comment section, guys. Until the next one, it's FD for Sage5.tv signing out from the bye.